More big news out of the pharmaceutical world, and it is not the kind Novo Nordisk was hoping for. The company behind Ozempic and Wegovy just revealed that its semaglutide pill failed to slow the progression of Alzheimer's disease in two major phase 3 trials. The stock tanked, analysts reacted, and one of the industry's biggest lottery tickets just came up empty. Today, we're breaking down what happened, what scientists are saying, and whether this really means GLP-1 drugs won't help Alzheimer's, or whether the story is more complicated. Novo Nordisk has been riding an incredible wave the past few years. Ozempic and Wegovy have become global blockbusters, not just for diabetes and obesity, but also for heart and kidney protection. But Alzheimer's, that was the moonshot. Internally, executives referred to semaglutide for Alzheimer's as a lottery ticket, a high-risk, massive reward bet on a disease with few effective treatments. Scientists had some reasons to believe that it could work. GLP-1 drugs reduce inflammation, improve metabolism, and affect blood vessels in the brain. Obesity and diabetes, both treated with GLP-1 drugs, are known risk factors for Alzheimer's. And small studies suggested reduced neuroinflammation, and some observational data hinted at lower dementia rates in diabetics on GLP-1s. As Dr. Donna Wilcock from Indiana University put it, everything we currently understand about how GLP-1s act in the body points to maybe they'll do something in Alzheimer's. But all of that needed confirmation in huge, expensive trials. The two phase 3 trials, EVOKE and EVOKE Plus, enrolled nearly 4,000 older adults with mild cognitive impairment or early Alzheimer's. Participants took Rybelsus, the oral semaglutide pill, for 2 years. The target? A 20 to 25% slowing of cognitive decline on a standard scale called the CDR-SB, which is Clinical Dementia Rating Scale Sum of Boxes, which is a clinical tool used to assess the severity of dementia. But the results were clear. There was no significant difference between Rybelsus and placebo on cognitive decline. Because of that, Novo is ending the planned extension early. However, and this is key, the drug did shift several biomarkers related to neurodegeneration and inflammation. The reductions were modest, around 10%, not the 20 to 25% that scientists think may be needed for real clinical benefit. Novo's Dr. Peter Johansson said, "We're happy to see it moves biomarkers very related to Alzheimer's. We expected a change." So the drug seemed biologically active, just not enough to slow symptoms. After the data hit, scientists started debating why the trial failed. And there are three big theories. Number one is that the dose was too low. Dr. Ronald Peterson of the Mayo Clinic says oral semaglutide may simply not have delivered enough drug to the brain. Rybelsus uses the highest available oral dose, but that dose is far below what is delivered by weekly injections like Ozempic. Oral drugs also face stomach acid degradation, often reducing potency. Peterson put it bluntly, perhaps they were underdosed. Novo disputes that, saying blood levels in the trial were even slightly higher than in some diabetes injection studies. Number two, the cognitive test may have been the wrong tool. The trial used the CDR-SB, the same test used for amyloid clearing drugs like Leqembi and Kisunla. But GLP-1 drugs don't target amyloid. They act through metabolic and inflammatory pathways. Peterson said maybe the CDR isn't the best measure. With their mechanism, it may be quite different. This raises a major challenge. Regulators may resist non-traditional measures. And number three was that the treatment may have started too late. Dr. Paul Edison from Imperial College London argued that GLP-1 drugs may work upstream before major damage begins. He wrote, "These processes may help prevent early neurodegeneration, but may not reverse disease once protein aggregation and synaptic loss are underway. Even early Alzheimer's likely means decades of silent disease progression." Some experts warned that using injectable semaglutide might be risky because older adults with dementia can face malnutrition, and GLP-1 drugs cause significant weight loss. Investors reacted instantly. Novo Nordisk shares dropped over 10%. Some analysts called this a nail in the coffin for semaglutide in Alzheimer's. Others said that the sell-off was emotional, driven by stiff competition from Eli Lilly, management shakeups, slowing growth, layoffs, and pressure from Wall Street after a record run-up in valuation. Biogen stock actually jumped because semaglutide's failure removes a potential threat to Leqembi and Kisunla. So what does this really mean for GLP-1 drugs? To be clear, this failure does not mean GLP-1 drugs are in trouble. They're still proven for diabetes, obesity, heart failure, kidney disease, sleep apnea, and potentially addictive behaviors. Alzheimer's is simply an extremely hard target. Johansson said Novo is still analyzing data and hasn't rolled out testing earlier in the disease, possibly before symptoms, and testing other forms of dementia. But for now, semaglutide does not slow Alzheimer's, at least not at this dose, not in pill form, and not in this population. This trial won't sink Novo. Ozempic and Wegovy remain dominant, but it does close the door on one of the company's most ambitious diversification bets while the competitive landscape intensifies. Eli Lilly hit a $1 trillion market cap. Novo has lost over half its value this year, and anti-obesity pills are becoming the next battleground. Interestingly, an older GLP-1 drug, liraglutide, once showed hints of slowing brain volume loss, but the data was too limited and hasn't been replicated. For now, the Alzheimer's puzzle remains unsolved. So what do you think? Should companies keep pushing GLP-1 drugs into Alzheimer's and dementia research, even with low odds and unclear mechanisms? Or should they stay focused on diabetes and obesity, where the benefits are massive and proven? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm curious about what you guys think. And if you want more breakdowns of GLP-1 news and information, as well as to follow along with me in my personal GLP-1 journey, hit like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching today, and I'll see you in the next video.